Here with the big dog Jack today, and we're just going to be answering some of your questions.
Let's do it, eh?
Jumping straight in. As a 15-year-old boy, do you think I should truly get a girlfriend? Well, I think it depends on the circumstance, bro. If you're getting a girlfriend just purely for the purpose of getting a girlfriend, because you want the experience or whatever, probably not. But if you have a girl that you're actually attracted to, you've been talking to her for some time, you both have a genuine interest in each other, and you can connect on a personal level, it's not just physical, then I think it's completely fine. But as I said, it depends on the circumstance. What do you think, bro?
100%, I agree. And I want to say something. We're just two random guys. Our opinions are as fucked as everyone else's. But I agree with you, bro. Because if you're in high school and you meet a girl that's 10 out of 10, and she's your one, I would say, if I was in that position, I would go for her, because she's only going to uplift you. If she is your dream girl, she's only going to uplift you.
Yeah.
If she isn't your dream girl,
to take away,
then I don't know, maybe have a better think about it. But it just depends on the intentions, I believe. If I knew that the intentions were pure, I would 100%. I'd be a bit of a dumbass to miss out on a girl of this quality, if you want to say quality of girl. So yeah, I agree with you, bro.
100%.
Depends on the intentions, 100%.
Okay, moving on to the next one. I got no mates in real life. Drugs are the only escape right now. Any advice you'd give me? Well, personally, I've been through some of this before. So I went through a period in my life back in 2022. I won't go too into it. You would have heard it before. But I didn't have any friends for a solid 4 or 5 months, and I used drugs as my coping mechanism as well. But the thing with this is a big issue that everyone has, right? I think the biggest issue here is you're not facing the issue head on, you're covering it up. Because in that time, you could actually be trying to make new friends, trying to improve yourself to become a better quality person, to attract higher quality friends. And I realized this eventually, but I could have made that progress sooner, and I could have become that person to attract these higher quality of friends. Like, for example, Jack wouldn't have been friends with me back then. Think about the type of, your ideal friend, the type of person who uplifts you and makes you want to be better and actually helps you improve. Would that type of friend be attracted to your current self? And if the answer is no, then you need to do something about it. Nothing changes unless you do, and that's what I realized. In order to get off drugs, I had to make a change. I'd love to hear your point of view on that.
Yeah, so I'm probably less qualified to give the advice you gave, because with drugs and all that.
Porn is a drug, I would say.
True, but it's, I guess...
Everything's a coping mechanism, man.
Yeah.
Like, you can either choose to face it or just cover it up.
100%. But if I was in that position, I was struggling with friends. If let's say I was back, when I was addicted to porn a lot, I would, because I'm not at the level to maybe hang out with the friends I really want to, I would consume content from people that I can relate to and who I want to be like.
They feel like your friend.
Yeah, so you guys you learn from, you like these guys' values, consume this content, you'll become more like them, so in the future you can connect with people who are more like you. I would don't have to join the paid ones, you can if you want. I would join the free communities these guys have to offer. And I would try and network with people around, on my level. I'm maybe a beginner, I'm not super successful or nothing, but that doesn't matter. Connect with people around my area, even just talking online every single day, calling for an hour a day at the end of the day. Oh yeah, bro, how was your progress? Did you smash your habits, all this? I wish I did that earlier. To maybe, I had great friends, but friends that were on the same path as me, I wish I did that earlier, but I'm in a very blessed position. So that would be my advice if you're specifically struggling with something and struggling to make friends. I think if you start making friends in online communities, your chances of quitting whatever you want to quit will decrease anyway, because you're surrounded by people, even if it's not physical, but on the internet. by people who really want to uplift you. So I'd say that's my answer, bro.
This is the perfect segue into our next question, bro.
All right, yeah.
Are you both mates in real life? When and how did you two meet? So I joined Hams as Adonis School. Like Jack said, you know, you join online communities to meet people. I did exactly that because I went into another phase of my life where I didn't have friends, but at that time I was all right with it because I was actually improving. Anyhow, I joined this community. I find out they do community calls. So I jump on a community call one weekend and, you know, Jack's in there giving advice on YouTube and there was an option to get on call with him. So, you know, I raised my hand in the Zoom chat, my heart's beating. I jump on call. I'm like, fuck, it's that YouTuber guy. Like,
look, it's him.
I'm actually, yeah, look, it's him. And I'm actually having a conversation with him, right? And Jack gave me advice on my YouTube channel. That's sort of where I actually started to pick up. I moved into the story times. I became more authentic, less scripted stuff. And that's, yeah, bro, that's how we met.
Yeah, that's it, 100%. Yeah, and then I'll give my take on this. So, saw you, I knew you were very authentic. You were Australian, so that definitely was appealing to me because there's not very much Aussies doing what we do. There's some, of course, and there's some more guys coming in, but there's not very much. So, and and your experiences really appealed to me as well because a lot of people just nothing wrong with this. A lot of people make, I guess, you know, productivity content or I guess self-improvement content that isn't backed, it lacks experience.
Yes.
Which you could say we lack experience because we're young, but
100%.
we only make videos based on the experiences that we had, and that's what, you know, to go from this guy that was pretty down bad to where you are now. That was really inspiring to me, bro. So that's what really appealed to me, 100%.
I appreciate that, bro. That's actually the first time I've heard that take
I
from
thought I
you.
told you at least once.
No,
Oh, shit.
it's nice to hear though.
Yeah, 100%.
Where do you want to be in 5 years from now? Well, I have a rough idea. I don't like to vocalize my goals too much, but definitely 1 million subscribers is a goal for me this year. It's going to take something big to do that. But just 5 years from now, I want to just be in a much better position than I am now. So the plan for this year is just building the foundations, not, you know, having my focus on the content. We'll do a few trips, get content there, sort of segue into the type of content which I've been speaking about doing and just take it from there, bro. You know, just lay a good foundation. I'll be moving out of home towards the end of year. So that's where I'm sort of at. I don't have too much of a plan that far ahead, but like 2 years, I have a good plan in place.
Yep.
How about you?
Yeah, so what, 5 years, as I was saying to you yesterday, bro, I don't know. I couldn't tell you, bro. I couldn't tell anyone where I'd be in 5 years because I might get to this time next year and decide that making videos isn't for me. I doubt that's going to be the case, but you never know, it could be. So it's very hard for me to say 5 years, but I believe I will be where I need to be. Who knows, something fucked up could go on in the world. Who knows, you don't know. So I'm just going with the flow, do what I need to do every single day, try and make a positive impact and just go with the flow, bro.
That's all you can do, bro.
Yep, that's it.
Thoughts on today's society? I interpret this question as, you know, the whole Gen Z, all that Sigma, skibbity, all the brain rot stuff, you know, nice try, Diddy.
So the Sigmas of Australia.
I interpret this as that, right? Where the society is headed. I think it's an issue, you know, everything that's going on in today's world, the stuff on TikTok, it's, you know, it literally is brain rot. I think we can do better, but I think a lot of people are waking up. Like, I don't think it's as bad as we think because a lot of people are realizing that this stuff is genuinely bad for them. Like, you know, watching porn, doing drugs, just doing stuff that they shouldn't. They're actually realizing that it's not good for them. So I think we're headed in the right direction, even though a lot of it's headed in the wrong direction. It's just some people are making the wrong choices, some people are making the right choices, right? I wouldn't say it's an uneven balance of just heaps of people doing stupid things. What are your thoughts though?
I would say very similar to you. I want to touch on one thing And a lot of people say that, our generation is really weak and all this, we're distracted, we're pussies and all this. But 100 years ago, if teenagers 100 years ago had access to what we have access to, I think it'd be very similar.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, it's cool to blame and shit how we're very, very weak, but it gets to a point where we have to sympathise with ourselves and understand that we live in a society that promotes distraction, it promotes shitness. So I would never be that guy to complain about society. I think it's the way it is because it's the way it is. Especially in here, like there's societies across the world that are extremely, negative. But I'm not going to comment on that because I have no right to. But I would agree with you, bro. I just wanted to mention that.
I'd like to add that every generation has had their lazy people, The same people who 100 years ago, let's say, were bums living on the side of the street, doing drugs, whatever, when all that stuff was introduced. They're the same people who are doing that now. It's not any sort of circumstance they've been bred into. There's always going to be lazy people in the world. So I don't think society itself is the issue. I think it's people who refuse to want to do something with themselves. And it's not an issue to everyone. It's just an issue to themselves. You can only ever be the best version of yourself at the end of the day. No one else can help you.
Sure.
So that's just what I'd like to add to that.
Yep.
What's yours best advice for a 16-year-old entrepreneur starting out in business? Depends what you're starting, to be honest, bro. If you're looking to start a YouTube or something, I'd say Jack's the person to touch on that. But I started a business last year. It was an e-commerce store. It did well for a little while. But I'd say the thing that will separate you from the rest is just your ability to identify what's hot early. So in YouTube, it'd be, identifying trends. In something like dropshipping, it would be identifying products. If you can identify a product that is hot before the rest of the market, you're going to boom. And same as YouTube, you identify trends, you identify topics that people actually want to hear about, you identify things that people want to watch, you're going to do well.
Yeah, 100%. I'll touch on YouTube specifically, but it can be applied to a lot of things, I guess. I would say have a very strong intention before you do start the business, or at least try to set an intention. There's nothing wrong with being in business for a year. With me, I wouldn't even call YouTube a business because I love doing it. But my intention with YouTube is simply to try and do this as long as I possibly can, or as long as I want to, and helping as many people as I possibly can, because that's what makes me fulfilled. I have a very strong intention behind what I do. And from my experience, from doing YouTube for 4 years, I am where I am today because I've learnt from every single mistake. Every single one. I've always tried to be at the top of my game. If you set that strong intention, there's no reason why you won't be successful as long as you adapt.
I'd like to add to that, just briefly. I think the reason, what he's saying here about intention, the reason that I had that business that failed last year was because my intentions were not set pure. Front of my mind was money. How can I make as much money as possible? That is why I failed. My intentions were not pure. They were not set on the correct things. And now something like YouTube, as Jack said, it's less about how much money can I make this month, and it's more about how many people can I help. And that just happens to be a byproduct of that.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
Do you think it's possible to live a healthy, positive life with the occasional social drug use? Look, it depends what you mean by that. I'm going to say no, right? It depends what drug use is quantified. If you're talking about going out doing meth or something, no. If you're talking about, I don't know, perhaps having some weed, it's still not great, bro. I think it's more healthy, but I don't agree that it's a healthy lifestyle to follow if you actually want to have a healthy lifestyle, because you've got to look at it like this, right?
Just checking the the mic to charge. Keep going.
Fuck, what was I going to say? I'll wait till you get back in frame.
Don't edit it, bro. Keep it going. Yeah, go. Fucking no.
What was I saying? Got to look at it like this. if you're doing drugs, why? Why are you doing drugs? Okay, that's the question you've got to ask. So if you're actually healthy, both physically and mentally, you don't need drugs in your life. Like right now, I'm in a really good state of mind. I feel drugs would draw that down. I wouldn't feel good with that. That's because I'm in a healthy stage of my life. If you're doing drugs, that's not healthy. You're in the wrong sort of state of mind where you feel you need that to keep going in life. That's my take on it. I don't think it's a good thing.
Yeah, so mine would be very similar to you, bro. And I've never taken, so I can't really comment on this. It's again, I can't really comment on it. It just depends on how much that you want the life that you do want, I guess. I know some friends who I know, if you want to call alcohol a drink, they go out drinking every weekend, but they live an amazing life. They're happy. So it just depends on your values. That's all I'd say, bro.
100%.
It just depends on your values.
What are your thoughts on young men losing their V cards so young, so from ages 11 to 15? I think it's actually quite sad. As young as 11, man, I knew guys who were losing it at 11. I knew a girl that lost at 11. I think it is sad, man, because it's something that you should look forward to it as you get older, and it's not something you should just do with anyone, which is what people, when I was in school, were doing. It was just, do it with any old girl, any old guy. They didn't particularly care about having that spiritual connection with the person. I don't think it's inherently bad to do it beyond the age of, I'd say 16 is appropriate, but with someone who you actually do feel that connection with, because the thing is, bro, anyone can go out and do that, but it sort of lowers your standards. Like if you're just going to do that with anyone, it sort of takes the fun out of it as well. It takes I won't say fun, it takes the emotional side out of it, It should be something that's done with someone who you actually have some emotion towards. You have a connection with that person. You feel it's just a way to deepen that connection further, I believe.
Yeah, I think I can't really add much to that. I had one mate who lost it, I think, around 13. And he said it was cool and all. And this is only one person, so this doesn't apply to everyone, of course. He got, I wouldn't say he was addicted to it, but then again, I would say he was, and that kind of led him down a negative path. That and other things, I'm not going to call it that exactly. But I would say that young, I'm not too sure. I'm genuinely going to say I don't know. But I would say above 16, depends on your values. But personally with me, it's a sacred thing. I don't just go and do it with anyone. I do it with the right person. That's my thoughts on that.
100%.
On the topic.
I agree. This one is from my mum. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, okay.
What inspires you? Well, what actually inspired me to get into, in this case, YouTube, because that's what I'm doing, was just seeing other people winning at the same thing that I desired to do. So I remember when I found Jak's channel, that gave me a very deep sense of motivation to move into the more storytelling, more authentic sort of content niche. Just people who are actually about it, they're ambitious and they're doing something that is creative. Creativity really inspires me. It makes me want to see what I can do, where my creative flow really drives towards, I guess I would say. That's what inspires me.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely agree. I think the main thing that motivates me is I know when I'm dead, I'm going to be dead. The cars that I brought are probably going to be dead. All this type of shit, they're not going to mean anything if I choose to buy any luxury cars or whatnot, which I don't know, who knows. But the message hopefully will still be there, and whether I'm probably not going to be remembered, I'm probably not going to be that big, but look, it's like I'm talking like 1,000 years from now. But if I can change, not myself, but if I can help inspire someone to be more authentic, I guess, go down the path that they really want to, that side of themselves, that really authentic side of themselves is saying to go down. They live an amazing life. They can help their kids do the same, their kids, and help them do the same. It changes bloodlines. So in 1,000 years' time, or maybe not 1,000 years, let's say 100, 200 years, 1,000's a bit way too far. Probably won't even be humans, we just be robots. But if I can somewhat impact someone then, that's all that matters, because in 100 years' time, I'm going to be dead. Nothing's going to matter. No, the houses and the cars won't matter. It will be the message. So that's what motivates me. Something bigger than myself.
I'll just add a little bit to that. You've just sort of sparked, it's a little tiny story, right? Change. That's something that inspires me massively, not only to keep going, but to help other people to make that change. So I was mentioning to Jak earlier that I had a guy message me last year. I was on 100 subscribers, had a video get like 2K, which was crazy for me at the time. And this guy DMs me. He'd been watching porn. He was watching like 5 hours of movies every day, had like a 12-hour screen time, 4 hours of sleep every night, just terrible habits, man. I started, talking to this guy every day, sort of helping him out with some of the struggles. He's moved out of home. He's making a good income online. He genuinely feels fulfilled with his life. He's actually making an impact in other people's lives. And that really inspired me, bro, to keep helping people, because I feel I had some part. I'm not taking credit for this, but I feel I had some part in that guy's journey, and that just keeps me going. Shout out to my bro, you know who you are.
100%. Cool, bro.
All right, I think we'll do these last two. Love how far you've come. What goals do you want to achieve this year? Okay, so this is speaking in terms of a year. Well, as I said, I'm just focused on building a foundation.
Shit, hang on, keep talking.
Really building everything to be as good as it can, laying the groundwork. So, move out of home, hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube, travel. I want to travel the world. We're going to Dubai in June for my birthday, Jak and my brother. And yeah, man, just all that. That's pretty much it.
Yo, so it's gonna cut out in a minute because the camera's full.
That's all right.
So we're gonna have to split it up. That's just all good. Same as the 5-year thing. Don't really have any goals, honestly. I want to be, I guess, more sophisticated, if that's the word. I want to learn a lot more. I want to challenge my fears a lot more. I've been doing that with like the mall-based videos and the supermarket-based videos. I can't tell you. I just do what I know is best every single day, and I just go with the flow.
And bro, might I just add to that? When this guy works, he works, man. Like, he's locked the fuck in. It's so cool to see, bro. You just be sitting there.
My posture's fucked though, bro.
But
he
locks in on his work, man. When he puts his mind to something, he's at it for the next few hours. Nothing can disrupt him.
It's fucked though. My posture's so bad, bro.
How tall is Jak? So, Jak's 7'8", and Jak's.
It's just how you said it so seriously, man.
Jak's 7'8", and I'm 8'9", so that's sort of the height difference you're seeing here. So the power lines, Jak and I pretty much can slam dunk the power lines. Like, if there was a hoop on those right now, you boys, like, we actually got declined by the NBA because we were too tall. Like, in the actual stadiums, bro, our heads would hit the roof. So there's the answer to that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's crazy.
And the last one, have either of you ever been in a fight? I actually managed, out of all the things I did in high school, bro, I managed to steer my way away from this sort of thing. But in primary school, there were a few instances where things happened. Actually, there was one in high school, I will say. I picked up this kid's water bottle, and he came up and punched me in the stomach, so I decked him in the jaw. That was the only time I think I had one in high school.
The only one I've ever had, if you want to even call it a fight, it was year 7. It would have been year 7. I was playing basketball and I was playing against someone I was talking a bit of shit to him, because that's what you do when you play basketball. And he was taking it a bit personally. So he's bumping me a little bit, he's pushing me a little bit. So I'm getting pissed off. So I give him a shove. He falls to the ground, he gets up, he pushes me, I push him back, and then he goes to swing, but he misses and the teacher gets involved. So that was like the closest thing I got to a fight. I've been pretty lucky enough to get in one. But yeah, that was funny. I used to There used to be like mini fights when we used to play basketball because it used to be so serious. But that was probably the closest thing. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Thumbnail time. That's it.
Oh, sweet.
We'll wrap it there. See you in the next one. Stay grinding, bro.